What's up, everyone? This is your stream, Mr. Steven, aka The Legend, and my pronouns are he, him, and his. And welcome to the Steven Factor. On this tonight's episode, I want to do something a little different about generations. I'm talking about millennials and Gen Zs. Over last week, I just saw this new party campaign, which came out of Instagram, and for the first time I just saw it, and it was funny. And it's called Millennial Bullshit. It is a monthly party to bring all the millennials together with no Gen Zs. In other words, millennials are biased. I want to show you this clip, and after that, I will do a little bit of response about this occasion. And also, just want to let you know, the following of this clip, I decided to change the speed because due to the copyright issues on the background, and so I just don't want to mess up my account. Okay? Enjoy.
I think millennials are the best generation because millennials are the best because we have the best kind of music. Even though Gen Z is trying to take over recession pop, we are actually the owners of it. We had Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, Avril Lavigne. The music was the best. Millennials are the best generation because pretty much we were before social media. I think we didn't give a shit what people thought. We didn't have social media to tell us what to do, how to look, how to act. We did what we wanted to do, and we had fun doing it. I think we are the most in tune with our emotions, and we're pretty pathetic. We have great style. We are used to having trauma. How many traumas have we lived through? Look at us. We're flexible, we're responsive, we're empathetic. It's a general numbness to the world because we've been through so much shit, but we also have the spirit of tenacity. We're very tenacious.
Okay. Wow. Just wow. I really don't know how to say this, but you have to be careful what you wish for because this shit is not gonna happen. Alright, I want to have a little bit of statement about this concept that you just saw the clip just now. I really don't know that millennial bullshit has become one of the funniest clip ever. That's number one. And number two, can we all just get along? I mean, it's okay you have to be friends with Gen Zs, but I know you have something else in common. However, I want to do a little bit of research about between millennials and Gen Zs. Now, just want to let you know, millennials, also known as Gen Y, grew up back in 1980s through 1996. I was born in 1989, so I'm 36, so I'm pretty little much younger, almost close to that age. And also, Generation Zs, also known as I Generation or Zoomers, are born from 1997 through 2002. Now, being a millennial, it sucks right now. Being a millennial are nothing like a bunch of idiots. Being a millennial always becoming political bias. Gen Z is also political as well too. They always interested in politics. What else? Millennials have their own freedom. Gen Zs have their own freedom as well because people definitely to get out of their parents' house or your grandparents' house, your aunts and uncles, and they need to save their money as they can, trying to find their job, find their perfect relationship, and also time to party. Some Gen Zs are very afraid about getting married and talking about sex appeals or even having children or something like that. That is pretty concerned about that. And some millennials and Gen Zs are definitely getting along due to their age gaps. And it doesn't really bother me, to be honest with you. Now, there's so many research about which is popular. As you can see, millennials are still more popular. They're almost nearly like 80.2% that the millennials are taking over. while Gen Z's become as the second largest as almost 79% as well too. And that's number one. However, what if Gen Zs will surpass the percentages and they do have their own fun? But there's facts about Gen Zs that some millennials or don't know. I will do the facts with the millennials as well. So according to the AI of Google, Gen Zs is generally considered the more popular, dominant generation in terms of pop culture and the media. Like digital natives, Gen Zs are the first fully digital generation, having grown up in social media and smartphones. Like they're using Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, also known as X. What else? Partyful or something like that, and Facebook. What else? They using apps like McDonald's, Wendy's, and etc. Influence on pop culture. Gen Z's influence is seen in music such as like artists on Sprout Social. They talk about fashion, store trends, and media trends as well too. They always and some Gen Zs always love music. Like for example, hip hop, or even Taylor Swift. And yes, Gen Zs looking inspired to Taylor Swift, and also they becoming Swifties, which is pretty weird, but also thank God. Hope the Gen Zs will definitely not gonna cry after the Chiefs lost during the Super Bowl. Thank you, Eagles. Dominance in the media. Gen Zs is heavily represented in media with their own voices and their own perspective, being increasingly sought after the news outlet and media organizations, such as people have to find their own voice, talk about political issues of the day, the news at night, or even and they even something is even more popular in this time. Global reach. Gen Z, also known as a global interaction and interconnection, is shaping more diverse and global pop culture. That's pretty good. Age range. Millennials are entering their peak adulthood years, such as early 30s, and Gen Zs is a younger, more dynamic generation with a heavy presence of the social media like platforms like Sprout Social. And yes, I was one of them. Age range is a good thing. I do get along with Gen Zs a lot, and also I had to be friends with them. And sometimes they're very, I had to be mentor with them. And some Gen Zs are pretty mentor at me as well about what they do, what they're interested. Maybe I feel left out, and people I've been young, older the things as well too. And also, they always love to talk about sports like college football, or college football, the NFL, or people have their own creativity, boiled creativity as well. Like for example, my friend Jake Vassier he created his first Christian short called "The Lives We Make," and it was a spot on, to be honest. Trends influenced by Gen Z's preferences are often adopt millennials and older generations, demonstrating the generation's influence on culture norms. And in inclusion, while millennials may still be significant force in certain areas, Gen Z's digitally influencing widespread influence on pop culture and the media trends make them more prominent, dominant generation in terms of the current cultural trends. I want to try to say thoughts about it, and I'm definitely going to say it. There's some in the facts here. Who's better, Gen Z or millennials? Millennials value stability for 30%, like Gen Z puts more emphasis on finding their dream jobs at 32. And more Gen Zers follow their parents' influences, like 42%, compared to their millennials counterparts, 36%. Is Gen Zs or millennials bigger? Millennials were the largest generation group in U.S. in 2023, with an estimated population of 72.7 million. Wow. Okay, time for some thoughts about this. I think millennials and Gen Zs will definitely get along. That's number one. Number two, why millennials are so dumb in these nowadays. I mean, I really don't care how millennials are totally biased, because we knew that some people really don't get along with Gen Zs, and people might gonna say something about what is your special interest, what's your favorite TV show, or who's your favorite music, like Taylor Swift. Yeah, I really know. I mean, it hurts. I don't know that I think millennials really don't want to fit in with the Gen Zs. It's even similar like when you go into Crown High School at that time, you can see all these group of grown folks and people have started their own families and having babies. That's what happened 4 years ago, and I really hate Crown High School, but anyway. And you invite all these Gen Zs came over. However, some of the age group, which is not completely expected but unexpected, and however, some millennials are spraying gossip too. So you have to be careful with that. You definitely have to be careful with that. And yeah, it happens to everybody. I really don't know I have to say this. I think this occasionally millennial bullshit became one of the best of the worst organizations that they have. It's even worse than Bungle Game Night. And even some millennials are taking over in Williamsburg, but I think Gen Zs are one of the most popular in this neighborhood as well, in Williamsburg. And some Gen Zs really don't like Williamsburg because it doesn't have no diversity in there, to be honest with you. And I was been there since during right before Halloween night, and I see so many group of white folks in Williamsburg, and it's pretty far too. You should probably take a train. I mean, take a train or even a city bus. However, some millennials and Gen Zs trying to spend their money with that damn Uber. That will be one of the quickest transportation of all time, and they want to have fun with it. I mean, that's pretty cool, right? I mean, some people think they are rich, but guess what? You're not rich. Y'all normal human beings, and that's why I'm talking to you, millennials. But let's be honest. I mean, like, why millennials don't like Gen Z that much? Are they want to be just like them, or Gen Z want to become as the next millennials? But no, it's just millennials themselves. Millennials don't like the Gen Zs because they don't want to hang out with Gen Zs because they're really definitely much comfortable. And even they just don't want to. And they think that Gen Zs want to be just like a millennials, so they wanted to be like millennials 2.0, and they have their own party or something like that. And listen, it's not fair. It feels like you've been watching the Little Rascals movie, and they just put a sign says no girls allowed. However, during the end, they wanted to invite women. Welcome as well. It feels like a battle of the sexes. Now it's like the battle of the sexes generation edition. But all I can say is, this is for all the millennials, if you want to hang out with the Gen Zs, just hang out with them. Talk with them. Give them their phone numbers. Talk about what they like. I mean, what's their interest? And even some Gen Zs are very attracted too, you know. Both millennial women and Gen Z women. They are very attractive. They love how they look. They love how they dress. They love music and pop culture. So, why the fuck not? Just hang out with them. Just be friends with them. Be the mentor with them. Between millennials and Gen Zs and Gen Zs and millennials. And after that, when you grow older and older, you could be besties for life. And I want to give a very personal note to my friend, Lauren McIntyre Comfort. She's a Gen Z, and we became friends for 4 years now. And I have so many Gen Z friends at my old church, and they're pretty cool too, man. It feels like you're trying to bring back your own college vibes and trying your own space, trying your own boundaries. I mean, trying one of the best things, interest or social life, which is right for you. For the personal note, I don't have any friends. I do have my old friends during my school, during my P369 days, but we're not social a lot because I have autism. But a couple of years later, I do have friends 4 years back. And I'm still continuing on this day. And sometimes I'm feeling angry. Sometimes I'm feeling getting upset. But patience is the most important thing of all. And that's the bottom line. So, if you want to participate in this party down by in Chelsea called Millennial Bullshit, yeah. Who cares? It's just a party for all millennials. But you need to invite Gen Zs more often. And let's be honest, thank God my Legend Manuals work, including the Party for app is working. I can invite all millennials and Gen Zs and any kind of generation that I want. And it was great. And next year I will do that again. And the year after that. And the year after that. And that's the bottom line. Alright. If you learn more about this channel, please hit the subscribe button. And click the notification bell to see my latest videos. And also the like button as well. This is your stream, Mr. Steven saying, Dola by la familia. And thank you for watching the Steven Factor. One love. Peace.